Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So what are we popping open today?
We are popping open a bottle of frankincense, a favorite for everyone. I love the scent. It smells like orange blossoms to me. It's not orangey at all. And I know you and I have described this one separately to the, without the podcast to each other. We never agree on how this smells, but I absolutely love the scent. And orange is the first thing I think of. What is your description?
It's so funny every time you say that to me, because wood is the first thing that I come up with. It just smells like a really unique wood. As I'm smelling it, I'm envisioning like wood benches in an old church or something like that. Like it kind of has the old church smell, which I know frankincense is a biblical term, so maybe that's why. But I envision wood benches.
There's definitely fruity in my wood bench church because if an oil can be calming, which somebody can, right when you smell it, this is one of them. I mean, this is one that I will just go and smell directly out of the bottle. I will put it on me so that I can continue to smell it, but I love the scent of this one. It immediately feels calming and relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So what's your favorite way to use this?
When in doubt, use frankincense.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like that was one of the first things I learned about oils. So seriously, for those of you who are listening to this and haven't ever used oils, if you want just one oil that does everything, frankincense is probably it. Like you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. If I don't feel like I probably stress. I would say that, I've got a couple of oils that I've talked about before that I love for stress and will smell or apply topically. But this is one that I just feel like if I'm standing there and just get a little thrown off of trying to decide what I want to use, I know that this is going to work immediately for me. And so this feels like something I can, again, just smell directly out of the bottle or apply to wrists or behind my ears or chest or whatever. This is in top use. No, I mean, yes, stress. But at the same time, now that I'm saying that out loud, luckily I don't have stress every single day. However, this is in the facial regimen that I do every single day. So I guess it would be that.
Yeah. I totally get that though. Like once it's part of your routine, you don't even think about that. Yes, I use this every day.
Right.
That's what you do.
Yes. And it's lovely. So then it's on my face and then I can, smell it, but it's with other oils too. So I smell them all a little bit, but yeah, stress and skincare.
Yeah. What's funny is, I think probably top use for me is skincare as well. And I was not thinking that when I asked the question because I just do it subconsciously. But the way I used it, especially for a long time, almost daily, was for headaches. And I've shared this before on here, but for me, the magic formula is frankincense, peppermint, and lavender, like that combo, especially as soon as I start to feel any type of ache in my head, I will reach for those oils. I love to apply them to my forehead, temples, even back of the neck sometimes, wherever I'm feeling the pain, but it works really fast. And if I can apply it again, like right when it starts, I generally can apply once and then it's gone. So yeah, I love this oil for that reason.
Well, and based on that information, my favorite way to apply frankincense for that particular use is I like to put my index finger on the top of the bottle. I turn the bottle upside down. So I've got some on my index finger. I rub my index finger and my thumb together so that I can take my index finger and rub it on my forehead and just across the top of where my eyebrows are. And then I take my thumb, which has the oil on it as well, and I press it to the roof of my mouth for about 30 seconds. So I feel like I'm getting that quick internal application as well as the topical application that will hopefully linger and last a little bit longer.
Yeah, so smart. I never thought, like I do the same thing with my thumb on it and then the roof of my mouth. I never thought to like rub my fingers together and then rub it on my forehead.
2 for 1.
Yeah, and probably less flavor in the mouth because I don't love the flavor of this.
Oh, and I was going to say I do.
Oh, how funny. Yeah. I do think it's not a flavor that lingers, so I don't mind. Like it's one and done, but yeah, I would not like make a frankincense latte or anything, but who knows? Apparently some people like the flavor, so maybe that's a thing you should try.
I like the flavor enough to make me making lattes. However, I certainly, especially when I feel like I need it, I certainly don't mind the flavor, and it feels welcomed when I press it to the roof of my mouth. I enjoy the flavor when I need it, for sure.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, so the application to the roof of the mouth is like a really fast way to get things into your body. And so that's why the roof of your mouth versus even like you could put it in a capsule and swallow it and all of that, or put it in water, but specifically roof of mouth, it's going to get into your headspace real fast.
Well, and again, that's obviously just for oils that can be used safely internally. Frankincense is one that can be used all three ways. It's got that supplements facts on the back of the bottle, so you know it can be used internally. And this is one that I use all three ways. We've talked about topical application. I've said that I'll use it internally. I have put a drop just directly underneath my tongue, but honestly, I have great success with pressing the thumb to the roof of my mouth that I honestly don't feel like I usually need a full drop under my tongue. And then this works great in the diffuser with other things. So I use this one all three ways.
Yeah, I agree. I really like it in diffuser blends because it almost adds like a grounding aspect to the smell of the room. So yeah, I'm a fan of all three different ways as well.
So we've obviously had success with this, but we each have a story of where other people have had success with this, still related to kind of the pain aspect. But I, in particular, had a patient that was going through treatments for a completely separate disease that he was suffering with and was on so many different medications and didn't want to take any more medications for pain. And so he had asked the doctor, if he was allowed to take something natural. Simultaneously, he and I had also been talking about oils, and he had been introduced to frankincense and copaiba at that point. And so the doctor said, sure, if you want to apply that topically to the pain, go for it. And he had come across other patients that were going through the same thing as him that had had success with it as well. And so he was applying this topically. They used some fractionated coconut oil, frankincense, and copaiba. And I think they were doing like 2 or 3 drops, and his wife was just massaging it into the area of pain. And they were doing that a couple times a day as needed. And they felt like that was the one thing that they could really use with success that was natural, so that he was able to avoid having to take additional medication for the pain.
That's so awesome. So awesome, because, people take more and more pills, and then the pills have side effects. And so to be able to at least reduce some of those pills and instead use something natural without side effects and also have the results he was looking for, that's really cool.
Well, and I was so grateful that the doctor allowed him to try something natural too. I think he recognized that he was on so many meds for the treatment that he completely respected that he wanted to try something different that wasn't going to give him additional side effects.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. So my story is a little different. And this actually came from my dad, which is pretty funny too, because my dad, he still refers to essential oils as my essentials. He's not 100% bought it in, but like he swears that On Guard helps him sleep, which I don't think anybody else uses it for sleep, but it helps him sleep.
Okay.
He likes frankincense, but he recently was on tour with a band, and one of the performers was complaining about how much his hands hurt. I want to say he was a saxophone player, but I could be way wrong. Anyways, if you think about it, most instruments you're playing, with your fingers, and that's a lot of movement. And he was complaining about how much they hurt, and they still had like a week left of this tour. And so my dad gave him frankincense and recommended he rub it on his hands and on his fingers. And the guy did it. And like by the time they got to their next site, 0 pain. And after that, every day, my dad said the guy would come to him and be like, okay, where's your frankincense? Put it on my hands, anoint me with frankincense. So yeah, this man was obviously a believer, and pretty exciting. My dad did give him my business contact info so that I could hook him up with more of the, finger healing stuff. My essentials.
That's so funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else about this oil?
I think there's so much that we can say about this oil, but there's also only so much we can say about this oil. Like Meg said at the beginning, I think that if you were going to get one oil, this would be it. I mean, I literally have used this for almost anything I can think of. in a pinch, if I need something and this is what I have on hand, this will work and serve its purpose.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say as well, most of the essential oil reference books, and, a few episodes back, we talked about our favorite books, but most of them, have like a page for each topic or each oil. And in general, the frankincense one is multiple pages because it just works for so many different things. So yeah, get yourself frankincense. If you don't have any other oils, this is a great one to start with because it's beneficial. It's amazing.
Oh, one more thing. Did you want to talk a little bit about the sourcing story? I know that you liked that too.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I did want to share this. So we've shared before how important sourcing is to doTERRA. One of our early episodes, we talked about that specifically. But with frankincense, doTERRA actually uses 4 different species of boswellia trees, and frankincense comes from the resin of these trees. And so these trees that doTERRA uses, again, these are grown in the places in the world where like they are the healthiest and the best to get them from. And so they get them from Oman. Sadly, I don't know how to say that country name, but that, Ethiopia, and then Somalia. And Somalia is actually where they started. And the stories out of Somalia are amazing. So you might not know this, but Somalia is one of the most dangerous places to do business, specifically because of pirating. So a lot of companies just won't do business there because once they try to take their products out of Somalia, pirates are there and will basically steal your stuff. And so it's a huge issue. But because of that, the people in Somalia also really struggle to make money. But they have the best frankincense or boswellia trees. So it's worth going in there for doTERRA since that is a top priority. And so we're one of the few companies that's worked in that area. doTERRA has actually, their scientists have taught them how to have their trees, how to, pull the resin off or scrape the resin off of the trees in a way where it doesn't damage the trees so that these trees will last for hundreds of years. They also, it's real interesting, money doesn't go far in Somalia. So they pay them based on what works for them. So I know I've seen sourcing videos where it's like they're giving them goats, just to feed the people, and people are so happy. Also, there's some beautiful video and pictures of just these women in the villages sorting through all of the resin to find the perfect, clean, pure parts of the resin that is what makes up our frankincense. So it's really beautiful story. And again, just showing that doTERRA is willing to take the risk with the pirates to go in there and get our products from the top place. And then also so interesting, and this goes back to purity and quality, but the fact that we don't get our frankincense from just one type of tree, but from 4 different species of trees, so that we can really have this therapeutic, this tested level of, grade of oils. And that's why this is so powerful. So, get yourself some frankincense, help people in different parts of the world that need it, and help yourself just with all of the amazing power that this oil has.
Will you post the sourcing story? It's on YouTube, but will you post that in the show notes so that people can look at that as well?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely will do that. All right. Now are we done?
Now we are done.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to this whole episode today. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you enjoy it, please share it with people. The more people who know about it, obviously, the better, so that they can learn how powerful these oils are and how they can easily incorporate them into their life just to improve their life. And then also, we would love it if you would leave us a review. So if you've enjoyed these episodes, we'd love to get your feedback and reviews on whatever podcasting system you're listening to this on. So we'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode. And also just want to remind you, the 3rd Thursday of every month, except for September, we will be available for a live Q&A. And so you can sign up for that in the show notes as well. We'd love to have you jump in and connect with us. So thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.